You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 208 of the SZN podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And before I kick off the episode, let me do my usual plug the socials, guys. Head over to our Instagram page, the Strap Season Podcast, or our Twitter page, Strap Season Pod. Link in the bio on both of those pages that will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if audio is your preferred outlet, we've got the sort of Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and so on. All those links are there. And then we also have the YouTube link as well if you prefer to view your podcasts. And we tend to get the YouTube videos uploaded maybe about 2 days or a day after the audio drops. So make sure you do that for us, guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Flowz, hope you're good.
Yeah, man. How are you?
Yeah, man. Really, really good. Really, really good. Got an exciting fight to review for this episode, Flowz. We've got obviously Vergil Ortiz, who is a fixture on our prospect list and the guy that we've been following for about 2-3 years now, Flowz, I think, maybe even longer. We were speaking about Vergil back from when he was at 147 as a prospect. He's at 154 now. I think this is his second official fight, I think, Flowz, at 154, if I'm not mistaken. And we said he's a tricky opponent. I say tricky, Flowz. What I said last week was simple. You know, I don't know anything about this Bohachuk guy, but I'm seeing two things. One, he's Ukrainian, and two, he's won all his fights. I think he's got one loss in his record, but all his victories have come by KO, I think. So, as I said to myself, already I'm set out because, you know, Ukrainian fighters at the moment hold a certain stock, right? They hold a certain weight for his Flowz, and the fact that he's stopping bulk of his opponents, I said to myself, this is going to be a barnstorm, I reckon, because Vergil Ortiz is a guy who actually has 100% KO ratio on, you know, his resume. So, yeah, man, I was expecting the barnstorm of a fight, Flowz. And Flowz won't retreat it to an excellent fight, Flowz. I mean, obviously, we still got a couple months to the end of the year, but obviously when we do our yearly review, Flowz, this already might be in there for one of the fight of the year candidates, don't you think? It was a cracker of a fight, man.
Great fight. From the first bell, the final bell, it was great. Great entertainment.
They wasted no time, Flowz. I think you said it, right? You said after 30 seconds you had to sit up because you saw from round one, Flowz, Vergil's gone to work. And we know Vergil, Flowz. He doesn't need any invitation to go to work. He likes to get to work early. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. He's going for it early. And even though Flowz, you know, I felt like he was getting obviously the better of exchanges and whatnot earlier on. I think the first 3 rounds were clearly Vergil Ortiz rounds. And especially the third round, Flowz, where I feel like he battered Bohachuk. What I was excited about is the fact that Bohachuk, even though I felt like he was getting a bit overwhelmed, he didn't run away. He didn't shy. He said, cool, I'm going to throw my hands too. And I'm going to, you know, let my hands go as well. And that's what made it already. I said to myself, okay, this is really going to be a great fight because both these guys are looking to throw with mean intentions. I'll be very surprised if this goes to full 12. But Flowz, watching that first round now, we have to talk about a certain turning point. Well, I say it's not really a turning point, but a certain event that happened in that first round, Flowz. Despite all the good work that Vergil Ortiz was doing, we've seen him get caught and go down in that first round. And the referee has immediately ruled it a slip. When you saw it, Flowz, what was your reaction straight away?
Yeah, I thought it was a legit knockdown. It wasn't a knockdown where Ortiz was hurt or buzzed. He was caught off balance. I think his leg kind of got tied up, but it all came from a shot. A shot initiated whatever happened, and he went down. He got up straight away, but it wasn't a slip. It's a knockdown. If it comes from a punch, to me, it's a knockdown. If you're off balance, whatever. If a punch shot lands, if a shot lands, a legal shot lands, and you go down with whatever else surrounding it, it's a knockdown. And yeah, so to me, it was a knockdown. But because the ref ruled it a slip, I was scoring as I was watching. I gave that round to Vergil Ortiz. But obviously, like you say, the first 3 rounds he looked good.
Yeah.
But then they go into this little review, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. So during the fight flows,
Mm.
I think, during the rounds, we could see that the referee or the commentaries were mentioning it, saying that they're going to review it, they're going to review it. And then I think, I'm not sure what round it was, but one of the rounds just before they the ref waved them to fight, he sort of, the commentary let us know that they reviewed it and they ruled it a knockdown in the end. And then the referee informed both corners and the fighters that it was ruled as a KD. And because when I first saw it, Flows, I was like, that's definitely a KD. Let me not jump and start getting, angry and be like, are they, looking to screw this guy already? But that is 100% a KD. His leg did get tangled a little bit, but as you said, Flows, it did come from a punch. And it was a it was a glancing blow to the back of the head. So he didn't really connect cleanly. But the fact is, it's the punch that sent him down and made him off balance overall and dropped him. And he bounced straight back up. He was really protesting straight away, saying, no, I slipped. But it was a clear knockdown to me. And, that gives it, by the latter of the law, Flows, a 10-8 round for Bohachuk. Obviously, we'll come into the scoring later. But earlier rounds, Flows, like I said, I felt like Vergil Ortiz was overwhelming Bohachuk. I felt that Vergil was boxing well. He was either trying to box behind the jab, Flows, and counter Bohachuk as he came in, or he was getting up close and personal and firing off combos whilst also up in close inside game. And he was winning those rounds for me, Flows, because to me, he looked a lot sharper, a lot more explosive with his combinations, Flows. And he had quicker hands than Bohachuk as well. So whilst they're both on the inside teeing off, Ortiz's punches just had a little bit more torque, a little more explosiveness, and he was beating Bohachuk to the punch majority of the times. And he was landing those hurtful shots, whereas I think Bohachuk's hands were a bit slower, and he didn't have that explosiveness to his work. So I'm there thinking, okay, Bohachuk's clearly come to fight, but the moment if he keeps opening up like this, it's gonna be in for a long night, Flows, especially with the body work that Ortiz was putting on, Flows. He was really banging to that body. I think by the third round, you could see that Bohachuk's body was red all over, Flows. I said to myself, this guy's gonna be pissing blood by the end of his fight because Ortiz is really banging to that body. However, Flows, as with fights, we know they ebb and flow. And I mean, was it from the fourth or fifth? I might check my scorecard. I think I've got it on my phone, but the tide turned, Flows. And Bohachuk made some adjustments. And then he started to become in his tendency, Flows. And we're seeing Ortiz look a bit confused as to what to do and how to handle it. Because Bohachuk, throughout the fight, Flows, he was consistent with his output, Flows. Real consistent with his work.
Yeah.
He really let those hands go throughout. But do you want to speak on Flows? I mean, what adjustments do you think that Bohachuk made that sort of turned the tide in his favor?
I want to give him a lot of credit because what he was super busy.
Yeah, very active.
He was busy throughout. So while even those rounds that, like you say, Ortiz shots looked like they had more purchase behind it, more torque, more power. Bohachuk was always there throwing. He was always there with him. Would never let him fully gain control because he'd keep throwing. He was definitely busy. And I think he started to really disrupt Ortiz's rhythm. He was throwing the uppercut, which was landing on the inside. He was doing good on the inside, and his footwork was enough. He's naturally bigger than Ortiz, so his footwork was always putting pressure on Ortiz, and I don't think Ortiz could settle in any rhythm. Or he couldn't stay on the inside with him and have continued success, and he couldn't box and move and have continued success because Bohachuk was using the jab and coming over him. He was countering him as well over the top of the straight. 1-2 was landing whenever.
But thank you for saying because that 1-2 all night.
It was landing
all night.
Whenever Ortiz wanted to try and box and move and keep fight middle distance, the 1-2 from Bohachuk, because he's so busy, the 1-2 from was just making him
giving him hell. Every single time through the guard, Flows, through the guard, money.
And when they want to be on the inside, he'd have success there with the uppercut too. Yeah. So Ortiz couldn't settle into any rhythm because he kept trying to go in between the stars.
Thank you. Yeah.
And when
he was confused a little bit, Flowz.
Yeah,
to me, he looked confused because he didn't know what I'm going to go with. Do I go with the jab boxer move on the outside, time this guy, or do I go with just the rough and rugged inside game? Those middle portions, Flowz, Ortiz didn't really know what to do. And I don't know if he was, I don't know, obviously, if he's getting the right instructions from Robert Garcia. I didn't really pay, to be honest, I didn't really pay too much attention to the corner work between both teams. But yeah, I'm seeing a guy in there that is a bit befuddled as to why he's not able to get that earlier success as he was in those middle portions, Flowz. And yeah, I just think he was caught in between two minds, as you said, Flowz, between boxing and moving behind the jab, which he can do very well, or coming in and really rumbling with this guy in the inside. But yeah, Flowz, overall, Flowz, Bohachuk's, I want to commend the fact that I'll always love it when fighters do this as well, Flowz. Just not letting yourself get bullied in these exchanges. And when Ortiz was landing these big shots, Flowz, these big, hurtful, explosive shots, Bohachuk will always reply instantly, Flowz. It's like, I'm not going to let you get the better of a 6. No, I'm going to get the last word every single time, Flowz.
Yep.
And that's what made me like him even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was giving him a lot of rounds just from being busy and not letting Ortiz settle. Ortiz will land a big shot and he'll come right back with shots. He wouldn't back away. He wouldn't fade. He just he'll throw 2-3 more. Not all of them will land, but the fact that he's responding, the fact that he's being busier, yeah, you can see why it would be hard to score rounds because of how busy he was making it. He wasn't giving rounds away. He wasn't giving anything away. And Ortiz is super efficient as well with his shots as well. If you give him anything, he'll take it. If you give him your body slightly, he'll take it. Over the top, he'll take it. But he's finding shots, whereas Bohachuk was just being busy. Boom, 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 throwing. If it's gloves, he's still throwing through the guards to the body. He was throwing everything. So yeah, he made it super interesting. He was impressing me a lot watching him.
For sure, man. For sure. I like to say, Flowz, that also I want to really commend Bohachuk's chin. Because despite the fact that Ortiz, there's no doubt about it, Flowz, Ortiz is very heavy-handed. And despite the fact that Ortiz was landing bombs on him, big shots all night. And you could visibly see that Bohachuk was hurt a few times, a couple of rounds where, it's like, wow, his legs are a bit wobbly. He stayed on his feet, first of all, Flowz, and he wasn't looking to clinch and spoil. He was there firing back despite being hurt. That's what I said to myself. This guy is strong as hell. Absolutely strong, because a lot of guys we've seen take these Ortiz shots have gone down or, counted out, all that kind of stuff. But he stayed on his feet and he's firing back, positively as well, and catching Ortiz with big shots himself. So, yeah, man, I really want to commend his strength. I felt like there was a portion, Flowz. There was one round towards the end. Which round was it? Was it round? Okay, so another knockdown's happening in round 8, Flowz. So Bohachuk has knocked Ortiz down twice. Again, the second knockdown, super light. He's caught Ortiz as he's coming in, and Ortiz has dropped, and his gloves have touched the canvas. So he hasn't fully gone down, but his gloves have touched the canvas as and obviously, as we know the rules, Flowz, if the glove touches the canvas, it's ruled a knockdown. Ortiz trying to he's vexed. And we'll talk about the anger, because obviously he's protesting, saying no. But the referee's like, no, your glove touched, that's whatever. Counting down. So officially again, Flowz, that's a 10-8 round to Bohachuk. However, what Ortiz then went and did was a madness, Flowz. As you said, he was fuming. Man took that anger and said, yeah, cool. Beat up Bohachuk for the rest of the round, Flowz. Cooked him. And Bohachuk was truly hurt this time. And again, credit to Bohachuk for surviving. But Flowz, what Ortiz unleashed on him was nuts. He gave him hell. And that's why I said, yeah, this fight is brilliant, man. This fight is absolutely brilliant. I love seeing this kind of stuff. And yeah, shout out to Bohachuk for surviving that one.
Yeah. But even in that round, while Ortiz activated, like proper activated and stuck it on him, towards the end of the round, Bohachuk was still giving it back.
In fact, I feel like even at the end, Flowz, Bohachuk landed a big shot before the bell went.
Yeah. And the way Ortiz activated, the way it was going, I was tempted to give that a 9-8 round. Because he came back, I was on smoke, like he hurt Bohachuk, he wobbled him, but then Bohachuk, maybe like the last 10 seconds, caught Ortiz with a huge shot.
Bro,
I know
Ortiz. It was 2 big shots. I think it was. Yeah,
I think it was 1-2 straight down the middle. And Ortiz tried to respond, but I think it was quite late in the round. I was like, that's a huge shot that he's landed there. He looked hurt. He looked like he's hurt, and he's caught him. So I was tempted to give it 9-8 round, but I didn't. I gave it 10-8 to Bohachuk.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I think from the sort of later rounds Flowz, I do feel like Ortiz then got, even though it was, like I said, competitive throughout, Bohachuk was doing amazing work throughout. Ortiz finally settled on what he should have. Well, wouldn't say what he should have done, but he finally, as I said, he was sort of in between 2 styles and how he should go. He settled on doing the whole jab Flowz, and jab would sort of move and try and catch Bohachuk as he comes in. And that did prove to be a bit successful for him, because that kind of completed towards the end. It upset Bohachuk's rhythm. And Bohachuk then looked a bit lost as well in terms of what he should do, because every time he tried to set attacks up and come forward, he was met with a jab. And that just completely made him reset again and restart his attack. So that was the right move for Ortiz to do towards the end. But overall, Flowz, it was a mega competitive fight. Super, super competitive. Yeah, man, I was very happy with that one, Flowz. Both guys really showed out. And it was just a barnstormer, as we kind of predicted. So it's gone the full 12 now, Flowz. This is the first time that Vergil Ortiz has gone 12 rounds. And for me, Flowz, I've scored this fight as I've watched it. And I've personally scored it 113, a draw. What about yourself, Flowz? What did you score it?
Yeah, I scored it a draw as well. There were some close rounds, there's some swing rounds, really.
Yeah.
Depends what you like, I think.
Yeah.
I scored it a draw. And I felt the result was harsh on Bohachuk, even though if I did give it 9-8 round, I would have given it to Ortiz. Ortiz would have nicked it if I did give him that round, but I feel like Ortiz didn't fully dominate that round enough for me to give it 9-8. So I scored it a draw as well.
To me, Flowz, it was a clear draw. We should talk about the scorecards, Flowz. So it was a majority decision in favor of Ortiz. Judge 1 scored it 113, like we did. And then he was overruled by the other 2 judges who scored it 112 in favor of Vergil Ortiz. So a real close majority decision in favor of Ortiz. And obviously you saw the timeline, Flowz. A lot of people saying robbery and Bohachuk's been robbed. I'm not going to call it robbery. I think it was a very, very close fight. I personally had a draw, but at the same time, Flowz, I can't be too mad at them seeing it in Vergil Ortiz's favor. I know how the boxing game works. We know how the boxing game works, Flowz, and the more connected fighter is most likely going to get those razor-sharp decisions. And unfortunately, Vergil Ortiz is a more connected fighter. Whether it's right or wrong, that's another discussion. We've discussed it many times. But matter of fact is, Vergil Ortiz is the bigger name. He's a more connected fighter. He's the one that's been touted as the next up. He's likely going to get and scrape those razor-sharp decisions. 114, 112 is a mad close scorecard anyways. Flowz, that's what, 7-5 or whatever. So, yeah, super close score. It's not like it was wide. I'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. So the judges all had it close. Put it that way. Yeah. So, and they've decided to go with a more connected fight. That's the way I saw it. I do feel for Bohachuk because he showed his ass. Bro, he fought his ass off. And for me, no, you don't want to see Bohachuk stick around. I need to see more of him because he's cold. Another cold Ukrainian added to the ranks. But I personally want to see a rematch between these two. I would like to see a rematch. I don't know if they'll give him the rematch, to be honest, Flowz, because of how close it was and the fact that Ortiz has been tipped on for, to fight the winner of a Spence Fundora, for example, or Terence Crawford, for example. So these are the names that have been next up for Vergil Ortiz. But me personally, if possible, rematch Bohachuk, because that was a great fight. And they know each other well, by the way, Flowz. I don't know if you've seen the story, but apparently Bohachuk's been a sparring partner of Ortiz for years, apparently. So they know each other very, very well. So yeah, man, I'd see it again. Run it back. But yeah, me personally, Flowz, I thought that was a clear draw. And I feel like that was a consensus for most people. I saw most people saying that they had a draw as well. Or maybe Bohachuk just shading it. I think a small minority was saying Ortiz just shaded it, but I think we can all agree, Flowz, it was a mega close fight. Very, very close fight.
Yeah. Initially, I saw a lot of people saying robbery. But we know that word gets chucked around loosely on social media. So
and incorrectly.
Yeah. So I watched it. I feel for Bohachuk because like late on in the 11th round, I think he was hurt badly and he just didn't fold. He just didn't fold. And I was like,
that's the round I said, yep. That's why I said he's mad strong. He's crazy strong.
Like I was like, this is brilliant. Like he just wasn't folded. 2 knockdowns, there's close rounds. He's been in the fight. He's given Ortiz hell. He's busted up Ortiz's nose. He's cut his eye, all with legal shots. He looked the fresher of the two, if we're being keeping a buck afterwards. He looked more fresh-faced. But as well, on the flip side, you could say the knockdowns were like Ortiz was winning those rounds with the knockdowns, really. So without them, it could have been like a more dominant win for Ortiz. It could have been a wider card for Ortiz. I think they have to run it back. I think it's only right. I think it's only fair. I don't think Ortiz should be allowed to move on. Bohachuk was the champ. He deserves a shot to retain his belt. So yeah, I think the rematch is fair.
Yeah, I agree. I think I personally wouldn't see a rematch. I think the fans wouldn't see a rematch as well, but I don't know how likely it is to happen. Unless they see that and they're like, you know what, maybe he's not ready for a Crawford. Or he's not ready for a winner of a Spence Condora. I don't know, obviously, with the team and how it's going to work, but yeah, unless I see that. But personally, I think a rematch is Bohachuk's earned that. Bohachuk's definitely earned that. And if there is no rematch, Flowz, I think Bohachuk is a threat at 154. He showed me stuff there, Flowz, that he's good, and it would be a hard night's work for anyone. So, yeah. Do you think that this takes away? I mean, would you obviously Flowz? We know how obviously we've got Vergil Ortiz in our prospect list, and just we rate him highly. Is this a black mark for you, performance-wise, against an opponent like Bohachuk, or is this something to be worried about, a red flag, or do you not really care because you think this is a really good opponent clearly, so it's not like he should have been killing this guy. He got matched up against a guy who's also really good, so that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't see it as a black mark.
Okay.
Vergil Ortiz, this is his second fight this weight. His career has been stalled with injuries and illness. So much so that I worried he was going to retire. Just to see him back, I think he's 2 comeback fights have only been 1 round each. Or something. So look, he's still got ring rust as far as I'm concerned. You can't shake off ring rust with 1 round wins. So this is his first 12 rounder. And look, it was bound to happen. You're not going to knock everyone out, especially moving up and testing yourself. So I think for his career, for his progression, they just have to run it back. It's not a black mark. Go out there and do the job better next time.
Yeah. You learn from this. Yeah, absolutely. Cause I asked that, Flowz, because you know how boxing fans are, and I saw the chatter on the timeline of another overhyped prospect, blah 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 blah. You know how it is. If you don't knock out all your opponents' Flowz in 1 round, these aren't going to be happy. So that's
a champion. He's a champion. So
but these lot don't respect anyone they haven't heard of, and they're saying, he struggled against a nobody. Come on, dog.
It's not.
Yeah, you know how boxing fans are. They're casual boxing fans. They're nasty. They're a nasty bunch. So they try to shout, throw dirt on Vergil Ortiz's name. I still think Vergil Ortiz is the serious prospect we believe him to be, Flowz. But Bohachuk, someone that we didn't know very well, but we're very familiar with now. based on performance, is also very, very good. And you're going to get some of that, Flowz. You're going to get a bunch of opponents, Flowz, that you might not have heard of, but they turn out to be really good. And I'm happy. That's our sport. That's why we like the sport, right, Flowz? So anyone can be upset on any given day. But yeah, credit to both fighters, Flowz. I really enjoyed the fights. I really enjoyed the fight. They both did a sick job. I hope to see it again at some point. And if not, Flowz, it's a bit, like I said, it's a big division. There's options there. I wouldn't want to see him fight a Crawford personally. I don't think he's ready yet. Or maybe a winner of us for Enduro Spence. I don't think he's ready for that either. But there's other guys in the division that I think I would, apart from Bohachuk, I'd like to see Vergil fight. A Tim Tszyu springs to mind personally. I think that will be another cracking fight because both those guys just come to swing. So yeah, I think that's another option too. But it seems that Tim Tszyu's now got a shot at the IBF champion. So maybe, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Flowz. On the card, if you want to talk about the Leo knockout, Flowz.
Yeah. Luis Alberto Lopez versus Angel Leo.
Yeah.
Now look, Lopez was the favorite here, but I'm not too sure why he was so heavily favorite. Because he's been the victim of one of the KOs of the year. I'm watching that fight. Leo was super impressive. Lopez, what the good thing about they both come to fight. They both come and want to throw punches and bang out. But the way Lopez throws punches and how lax he is with his guards, he was getting caught with huge shots all night. And yeah, he fell victim to what, once again, Americans are calling it a huge upset. But watching that fight and watching their styles, Leo was always going to get him out of there in my eyes. It was always getting him out of there. And the way he got, what a way to get him out of there as well. Listeners, if you ain't seen it, go watch it.
Beautiful KO, Flowz. Put him to flipping sleep, man. He was in the planking position on his back. Like, yeah, lovely one-shot KO. Yeah, man, peak. But yeah, big up to Angela Leo. Obviously, that's his, I think, first. No, he's won a title before, but in a different weight class. But yeah, he's now the IBF featherweight title champion. So shout out to him. Big win for him. Big KO. We do like to see good KO sometimes. Flowz, let's cast our eye quickly to this upcoming. Is it Saturday or is it Friday? It's the 17th, so Saturday, yeah. Queensbury have a show in York Hall. And it is it's headlined by Denzel Bentley versus Derek Asaze. Yeah, man, worth talking about this fight, Flowz. Obviously, I know got ties to Derek. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this one in this matchup? Because I think we spoke about Denzel before on this pod a couple of times. And I think we might have discussed Derek as well in his career. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this one, Flowz, initially? It's for the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight Championship.
Yeah, it should be a good fight. Like I've been critical of Denzel Bentley in the past. I think we did he fight where I thought he didn't perform to the level he should have. And Derek's gonna give him a good fight. Derek will come to the fight. We'll put pressure on him. So it should be a good scrap. You know what we feel about these British clashes. So
yeah,
I think.
Cool. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, they're both. I don't know if you can say, Flowz, this is a crossroads fight for both of them, but they both obviously got, I think, 3 losses on their record. Is it 3 losses they both got? Yeah. No, Derek's only lost once. Sorry, but then this is, I think, more of a.
I think just once.
Yeah. Derek's only lost once. Denzel's lost 3 times, but I think this is more of a. I think to me, obviously, there's more pressure on Denzel, given the fact that yes, he's lost 3 times already. And you know, he's probably the favorite to win this one. But he's also been there with the high opposition. Can't forget, like, Denzel's fought guys like Janet Beck. Did he fight Felix Cash as well?
Yeah, I think that's the fight where I was probably critical of him, or maybe Mark Heffron, there was the Mark Heffron fight where I was critical of him because I felt like he should have done better, but I think he won the rematch.
Yeah.
So he's fought Cash. I
Yeah,
think
so
he's
he
fought
drew.
Heaney as well.
Yeah, he's fought Cash. He's fought Heaney. So he lost to Heaney, lost to Johnny Beck. That was for the title, and he lost to Cash. He drew with Mark Heffron initially. Then the second fight, he then went and knocked him out. But yeah, he's coming off a win against Danny Dignam, the TKO earlier in the year. But yeah, given the fact that he's been in with the higher quality opposition flows, I think he's expected to win this. I think it's a lot more pressure on Denzel to take this.
And Derek has only fought like 10 rounds once or twice. I don't think he's so in terms of experience, in terms of rounds in a bank. Yeah. Denzel has fought a lot more rounds than Derek.
Also, Derek's last fight, if I'm not mistaken, was in 2021.
Tyler Denny?
Yeah, that was in 2021. So he's coming off a 2-year layoff. So it's Denzel losing this is I can't lie, it's peak if Denzel loses still. Because Derek hasn't been active. So yeah, tough, very, very tough fight for Derek. But yeah, wish both fighters luck, to be honest. It's a very good I think it's still a good fight regardless. And I look forward to watching that. So if you're not busy on the Saturday night, make sure you go and do that. Make sure you tune into that one. I'm just thinking if there's anyone else on another card that's worth mentioning. Alois Jr. versus Alonzo Birardi. Yeah, that's it really. Apart from that, it's just the usual Queensbury guys. But yeah, that's it really, Flowz, for this upcoming week. Yeah, man.
Actually, nah. Oh. Derek has fought since. I'm even looking.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Checking. He's fought since because I know I'm sure he fought recently. But yeah, he's fought 3 times since the Tyler Denny fight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, like I say, I don't think he's fought more than 10 rounds, and he's only fought 10 rounds once. So Denzel has all the experience here on paper. That's what I say on paper.
And this is gonna be a middleweight, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. It should be a good one. But yeah, Flowz, I think we can leave it there for this evening. This has been episode 208 of the Strategy Podcast. Once again, I'm your boy Cam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, guys, please make sure you stay locked in, follow the streaming, all that kind of stuff. Peace.
You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.